Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. The Panthers come into today's game looking for a way to pick up win number 10 on the season. It's the Vikings going up against the Panthers.
Larry, with a beautiful skyline towering just to the right of us, you get a look inside Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. Just a moment ago, the lights, the cameras, the action, all the pyrotechnics, everything was ablaze, everything was allowed here in Bank of America Stadium as Carolina emerged from their tunnel. And we are ready to go as the Panthers get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. Here's Christian McCaffrey to return it. They'll run. This is Jonathan Stewart. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Here's Newton now on second down. Well, this is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
And Kelvin Benjamin's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A Carolina first, Newton to Benjamin.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
Newton finding Funchess for the Panther first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early.
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And the Vikings pick up the football. 30, 10, and he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Kai Forbath on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This one fielded at the 5. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. They'll start the drive with a run by Stewart. Broke a tackle, but not much room there ultimately. Just up past the 25 and no further. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Now Newton on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
On 2nd down, they run with Stewart. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this belongs to the Vikings. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now McKinnon to start the drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Hey, we talked about Adam Thielen a little bit last year, didn't we? Possession receiver, makes some tough catches, gets it done, and he's a homeboy. We're up very close to the Twin Cities.
They've shown those possession receiver skills right there to pick up the first. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I've not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
Time running out here on the play clock. Bridgewater. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 7-0 is our score. We're back to Uptown Charlotte after this timeout.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. you're not you and you're hungry, Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. McKinnon. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Newton gives off to Stewart. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, got to make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Everson Griffin in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Coming up later tonight, a reminder, one of the best rivalries going. We'll have the Ravens and Steelers for you at 8:30 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday night, another divisional matchup. This time it's the Pats heading down to Miami to take on the Dolphins.
Nice twofer there. Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Throwing, Bridgewater. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Now McKinnon. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time, and a 1st down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty. Can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game. Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
He'll find Thielen work in the middle, and he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
To throw is Bridgewater. But he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. When the Vikings get down this way, they start looking for number 82. Rudolph had 24 targets in the red zone last year, tops in the league.
And that's what you do when you have a tight end who understands how to get open in tight spaces. Gronk knows how to do that. Tyler Eifert does it well in Cincinnati. Kyle Rudolph emulates those guys.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now it's Sankey. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
3rd and short yardage, Bridgewater. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Teddy Bridgewater, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Forbath out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now Newton. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks near the 42. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
We've been together a little while now, partner. How often do we actually describe tight ends as nifty? Because that's what I think of when I see Greg Olsen on the field. His ability to run routes, create space and separation, and make those catches downfield.
Yeah, sure consistent. The numbers the last couple years almost identical, and both over 1,000-yard seasons.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
It's another 10 yards on that one and another 1st down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Benjamin with it over the middle. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this 1st half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the 1st half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And that is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this 1st half.
No, not at all. And I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And this one is right down the middle. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. They've had a very solid 1st half, and as we near the end of that 1st half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you also put together your counters. Meaning, after they make adjustments to what you're doing, what do we have to go to next?
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Exactly. So I can't wait to see.
The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Mario Addison in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Look, Carolina had a number of issues last year, and that's why they slumped to 6-10 after a Super Bowl appearance. But pass rush wasn't a problem for them. They still got to the quarterback.
47 total sacks. That was just one behind Arizona, who led the league.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue for them, young corners that gave up a lot of big plays.
Ryan Quigley, fifth-year man from Boston College, in to punt it away. Christian McCaffrey deep for Carolina. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Time for our first check of the NFL scoreboard. Early lead in that one for the Packers. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. They start on the ground. This is Stewart on first. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man,
big,
a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either.
So let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. Third down from the 32. Newton's on target here, and he ends up at the 49-yard line before he stopped on the play. Panthers would later turn it over on a fumble. Offense out now after the fumble. The pass ends up being picked off. Anderson's in position, and he is the one who comes away with the ball. Vikings with the ball midway through the second. He'll head up the middle on the run, and he'll go for a score. That puts them on top by 14. Third and long. Newton finding his reliable tight end, Greg Olsen. And he won't be brought down until he makes it to their own 42-yard line. But they end up coming away with just 3 on the drive. So that's a wrap for us. We'll head back now to Bank of America Stadium for the start of the second half.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. The second quarter score from Cincinnati, and the Bengals out to the early advantage. Andy Dalton, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Let's go. They just do get the play off. Now Bridgewater. They will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
And the play clock's running down. Now it's Sankey. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Let's go.
On the ground, this is Sankey. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. He's at the 40. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really start to matter. They've got to make some moves. Oh, boy, partner, did that just happen? I've got my hand over my eyes right now because, like him, it's going to haunt my dreams, too. He was wide open. How did he overthrow him there?
Defensively, just very lucky. You know that they got away with one there. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
They begin the drive with Sankey. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. 2nd down, Bridgewater. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Adams. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. This defense figured out something in the locker room. That's 2 third-quarter picks now.
And you just wonder, did he get too comfortable in the locker room himself? His team has the lead. Take care of the football. He's putting him in jeopardy right now.
Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
He got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
And this will complete right side to Funchess. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Newton. Benjamin's got it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So they're operating in the red zone. Draw play, Newton to Stewart. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. This is Stewart again. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, He ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ikey's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd learned to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point. So no problems converting there.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. They'll go with Sankey to start the drive. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They run again with Sankey. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And not a whole lot doing there, as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Bridgewater. And they're going to try the screen. It's complete. He cannot wiggle free. They stop him at the line on 4th down. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Levante David in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but facing a deficit here as we get to the 4th and final quarter of play. On 2nd down, here's Newton. Completes it to Benjamin. The Panthers on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Newton. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Tom Johnson able to track him down for a loss of 13. And it'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So an interesting call there to take the 3. I guess they're thinking their hands were tied, but in the 4th quarter, that field goal, it really might not help them much at all.
Yeah, I mean, you still need a touchdown. Another field goal does you no good, so it'll be interesting to see what the media reaction is if the score stays where it is.
The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Bridgewater to throw it. Dancing to his left. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down and a 21-yard gain. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first. You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Offensively, with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now
look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
The intended target that time was Jonathan Stewart. That'll bring up second down. And not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off-kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
This is Stewart. There goes Jonathan Stewart. He's at the 30. Touchdown, Carolina. Jonathan Stewart hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers have taken the lead here in the fourth. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
Little salt, little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up, because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like he still harbors some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now it's the backup Keenum. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. give the center a lot of credit because for the most part, he got big defensive linemen over his face all game long. They just got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup. Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Keenum going to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Bishop Sankey, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
They go play action here on 1st down. Looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. That's about as tough as they come. You're driving to try to put the ball in the end zone and tie the game, and that happens.
It's exciting for us, wasn't it? Because we were thinking, hey, we might be headed towards overtime. Instead, it looks like this one may very well be done. And guess what? If you're a fantasy owner and you have that defense, you just had a big, big game, didn't you?
Forbath to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Newton on 1st down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Everson Griffin in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
He's going to go deep for Funchess. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Newton now to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner, forget starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with second down coming up. They come out here in the eye. Second and goal as the offense looks to try to punch it in. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They'll toss it to Sankey. That is not going to be any help as they dump it behind the line of scrimmage. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And Forbath will put this one through. And that'll push the lead up to 17. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the 4th.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Everson Griffin in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Here's Newton now on second down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. 3rd and 2, Newton. He's going to let it fly. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Terrence Newman with a pick. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
It's just been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for him. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for him here.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. No, not running. Keenum wants to throw. And that'll be incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. Because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball. And he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
And they're able to get this one down to the 25. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over. But he ended up finding another receiver.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Minnesota, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, it's a loss that could have implications on the playoff race as they fall to 9-4. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Green Bay Packers. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. Till next time, we say so long from Charlotte.